There is a well-known tale about a technique for trapping monkeys. The method involves creating two small holes in a wooden board, just wide enough for a monkey to slip its hand through. Behind the board, some peanuts are placed. Once the monkey spots the peanuts, it quickly reaches in to grab them, but as it clutches the peanuts tightly in its fist, it finds that it cannot withdraw its hand. This is how the monkey ends up captured. It's unfortunate for the creature, yet its plight stems from its intense desire for food, overlooking the various possibilities life offers. Similarly, the condition of many individuals in poverty mirrors that of this monkey. They become so focused on their need for money that they neglect the broader picture of life. I understand that your life is hectic, yet the concepts I'm about to discuss are not easy to absorb and comprehend in a single sitting. My suggestion is to watch until the very end, to revisit it multiple times whenever you have a free moment or while engaging in household tasks, and to share this for convenience. I am convinced that within a few months, your mindset will undergo remarkable growth. It's an undeniable reality that the poor experience a lack of financial resources, leading to significant distress. Therefore, it's no surprise that they crave wealth more than anything else. However, an excessive focus on finances can cause them to overlook other essential aspects of life. As a result, they often reap minimal rewards while incurring considerable losses. The emotional toll associated with financial hardship can be even more daunting than the lack of material wealth itself. In Jack London's novel Love of Life, he tells the story of a man stranded in the wilderness, struggling against hunger, exhaustion, and despair, accompanied by an old, hungry wolf. The wolf, equally famished, follows the man, waiting for him to collapse so it can feast upon him. However, it's not the wolf that ultimately devours the man. Instead, the man consumes the wolf. This narrative concludes with the protagonist returning to his ship, well-fed and rejuvenated, continuously gathering bread to fill every corner of the hold. Even when the bread becomes stale, he cannot help but hoard it. The survival instincts of the impoverished are incredibly strong. Their determination to overcome hardships is truly moving, yet ultimately, their efforts result in merely a collection of stale bread. Those who are starving often develop a scarcity mindset, gripping tightly to their limited resources. Even when they achieve a sense of satisfaction, they struggle to let go of what they have for fear of returning to hunger. This classic fable about poverty illustrates that the husband may live with regret for allowing his precious resource to be destroyed, yet he couldn't restrain his ambitions. Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous declaration, "I have a dream," resonates deeply because all humans, regardless of their economic status, seek comfort and beauty. So, why shouldn't a poor man dream of a better life, such as marrying again, especially when he still clutches the egg? It's crucial to ponder whether these aspirations are valid. While one cannot assert that the future holds no promise for the impoverished, the complex and winding road ahead requires thoughtful navigation. In theory, once a wealth-building model is identified, exponential growth is not unattainable. There are countless stories of wealth creation, like that of Bill Gates, who started with minimal capital, much like an egg. However, for every Bill Gates, countless others have their own eggs. Will you be the next success story? It's essential to understand that small capital comes with heightened risk. When one possesses only an egg, even a gentle touch could lead to losing everything. This vulnerability represents the inherent weakness of the impoverished. Starting from such a low baseline means that even a fast train ride cannot accelerate growth. Wealth accumulation resembles rolling a snowball. While a small snowball can be rolled furiously, it still pales in comparison to a larger one. The growth from a minimal base can lead to only modest success. When businesses aim to expand, they often attempt to scale small operations into large ones, much like transforming a single egg into a flock of chickens. This process involves numerous variables and steps along the way. Without navigating the entire journey, one cannot grasp the essence of wealth. Even when unexpectedly acquiring significant assets, managing them wisely can pose challenges. Wealth can often become a burden. Deep-sea divers know that diving recklessly into great depths can lead to life-threatening conditions. This isn't a warning for the poor. Rather, it's a reality. the impoverished often find themselves disadvantaged in most cultural contexts. For instance, dining etiquette typically dictates that those of higher status enjoy the best seats, enabling them to survey the entire room. Conversely, the disadvantaged sit in less favorable positions, limiting their awareness of their surroundings. Just as the powerful maintain control, so do the wealthy, who are the first to face repercussions when danger looms. Conversely, the impoverished suffer the consequences first. When opportunities arise, they are often the last to benefit. This disparity in fortune is unavoidable. While everyone aspires to attain a favorable position, not all can achieve it. The poor's societal position often relegates them to a subordinate role. They lack advantageous conditions like their wealthier counterparts. Consequently, whenever societal shifts occur, they endure the harshest impacts. Even when opportunities arise, the poor typically receive only a small fraction. A review of historical revolutions reveals that while a few achieve fame, the vast majority of the impoverished remain trapped in poverty. For the poor to elevate themselves from lower classes to higher echelons is a formidable challenge. Relying on sudden events to uplift them is not a viable strategy. Even attaining success and wealth is fraught with difficulties. They must rely on persistent efforts over generations. Much like the waves of the ocean sifting through sand, only a few grains of gold remain after much has been washed away. I would like to announce our new channel, The Art of Wealth, which is dedicated to topics surrounding wealth-building mindsets, career development, and building prosperity and riches related to finance and assets. We hope it will be beneficial to you, and the information will be provided in the comments section. In the stock market, small investors often follow larger investors, hoping to reap the same rewards, only to find themselves misled and exploited. Those who truly dominate the market are the institutions and investors with the power to sway it. Their primary objective is profit, and thus the question arises, who bears the loss? The stock market isn't a place to print money, it's a flow of wealth. Money either transfers from your pocket to theirs or vice versa. For a long time, there have been rumors about how large investors profit from smaller ones, akin to how hunters bait prey. It's clear who the most vulnerable are. Many guides teach small investors how to deal with large investors. Ultimately, they emphasize two methods: fundamental analysis and technical analysis. However, for an ordinary worker with little time and limited funds, it's impractical to comb through mountains of information to anticipate the actions of seasoned experts. This dynamic reveals a stark disparity in skill and opportunity. The rich and poor exist on entirely different levels, and the disparity in access to information is profound. What one side knows, the other often does not, and by the time one understands the situation, the game has already been played. The plight of the poor is that they often don't realize their own disadvantages, leaving them at the mercy of those who understand how to manipulate the system. This power imbalance can lead to poor financial decisions and further entrench their poverty. Just as a wealthy person has the resources to ensure their safety and interests, a poor person finds themselves more exposed and vulnerable. While rich individuals can afford security, the poor have little means to defend themselves against exploitation. The perception that the poor might enjoy some sort of freedom due to their economic status is a misconception. The realities of poverty are harsh and tangible, while the rich often experience a type of freedom that the poor can only dream about. The wealthy possess a sense of security and control that is often absent in the lives of the impoverished. While the latter may find solace in fleeting dreams of wealth, the truth remains that the struggle for survival is an ever-present challenge. The concept of freedom for the poor is often overshadowed by the burdens of daily survival, making the idea of chasing dreams seem futile. Ultimately, the poor are caught in a cycle of poverty that is perpetuated by a lack of resources and opportunity. Their attempts to escape this cycle are often met with insurmountable obstacles. Thank you for your attention, and I encourage you to seek out opportunities to enrich your understanding of wealth building. Join us in this journey of exploration and empowerment.